Hello and welcome back, it's Shrike here with another D&D video, and today we're going to be talking about DM Burnout and how to deal with it. I'm pretty sure every single DM out there has had burnout of some kind in the past, and I think I've had it a few times and I've managed to deal with it pretty well to the point that now I can see it before it actually happens and prevent it. So that's why I'm making this video, to try and help others prevent DM burnout, and when it does happen, how to get over it. Before we get on to that, I just want to let you know I upload D&D content here on YouTube every Monday and Thursday, so make sure to subscribe if you want to improve your game, if you want to take part in discussions about Dungeons & Dragons, or if you want to be kept up to date with the latest news. So if you've been hit by DM burnout, I think the very first thing you have to do is contemplate why. And this could be you're just at the very first phase and you're just starting to get a bit demotivated to DM every session, or you could have been feeling like this for a while and not really want to do it anymore. Just take a step back, step out of the situation you're in, and look from an objective point of view as to exactly what it is that has made you feel like this. And at this point, I think it's pretty important to not use general terms. Try to really drill down into what areas you're not enjoying about DMing and what areas have made you feel the way that you're feeling. While you're contemplating, there's a few areas in particular that you can look at. So first off, let's talk about your players. Maybe your DM style just doesn't fit the players and the players don't fit you as a DM. And it's absolutely fine to pick out one of your players and be like, actually, it's this player that makes me not want to play each time, because that's the first step in actually resolving this and getting back to DMing the way that you love. Next, let's look at the story and the worlds that you built. Maybe you built the world a couple of months or maybe a couple of years ago, and actually now there's some things you would have changed if you could have done it again, and you're not really enjoying the world you built. Or maybe it's just a storyline that they're currently on isn't really doing it for you, and it would be a bit too harsh to sidetrack them somewhere else straight away. Another area to look at is the planning side of it. Do you no longer enjoy making maps or scenarios? Maybe you never did in the first place, but now you've just had to do it so many times that it's really put you in a bad mood when it comes to DMing. So just analyze that a bit as well. And another area not many people talk about is underappreciation. DMs have to put in a lot of effort session to session compared to the players that just turn up and play, and being not appreciated for the effort you're putting in can definitely put a downer on your mood. So now that we've stood back and contemplated, maybe there's an area where it's actually quite obvious what's giving you this DM burnout, and if it is, there's something you can do about it. If you've got a problem player, then taking them aside and explaining the situation to them. If it's a story issue, then maybe it's just a case of saying to your players, right, I'm not really enjoying the story, so can we halt it there and start a new one? But if stepping back and contemplating it hasn't really helped to put a finger on exactly what it is that's giving you this DM burnout, the next thing I would suggest to do is try to think about what made you fall in love with Dungeons & Dragons, and in particular with DMing in the first place. For me, I actually started DMing because of watching other streams. I watched Critical Role, High Rollers and Dice Camera Action, and all of them have really inspirational dungeon masters, so that's what led me to sit in the DM seat. So because of that, I now know that if I'm getting a bit of DM burnout, all I have to do is go and watch a live stream or a couple of live streams for a little while, and it invigorates me, getting me motivated again to sit in a DM seat and do the preparation that I need to do for the sessions. But for you, it could be different. It could be the writing or the world building that made you inspired to become a dungeon master, and you can use that information to go away and do more of what you love and reinvigorate that fire for you to become a dungeon master again. I think watching Dungeons & Dragons content is always going to give you a little bit of motivation though, so it's probably worth, if you like watching live streams, go in and watching a few live streams. But if you don't, you can go and watch lore videos if that's what you're into, or animated skits if that's what you're into. But just find some sort of Dungeons & Dragons content that you enjoy consuming and give that a go and see if that helps you get out of the DM burnout. Another thing you can do is take a bit of time out, especially if you've been playing Dungeons & Dragons consistently for quite a long time now without taking any sort of break. Maybe just a short month break out of playing at the DM will help you reinvigorate what it is that you love about Dungeons & Dragons. And if you feel like you don't need a complete break from Dungeons & Dragons, then go ahead and be a player in a few games. There's lots of games out there that are always looking for players, be it one-shots or small adventures. So maybe just stop being the DM for a little while, go and be a player, and just enjoy it and not having to do the work of the DM. And going back to what I said near the beginning of this video, if it is the story that's not really doing it for you, then feel free to get the players to help you with the storytelling. Maybe get some inspiration from their backstory, or ask them more questions about their character and about their backstory to give you a bit more inspiration about what you could do with the story, and then go from there. And if that's not really working, feel free to go and start a new game, even if it is with the same players or with different players, if maybe the players are a bit of a problem as well. I know for me that starting a new campaign is always very exciting, and especially when it's with new players that you don't know yet, because you don't really understand them as a player, so you don't know their tics and what they like. And learning all that together as a group is really enjoyable for me. The last thing I want to say about DM Burnout is another thing that I don't think too many people talk about, and that's that dungeon mastering just might not be right for you. And that's fine, you can go and be a player in someone else's group and still enjoy Dungeons and Dragons, but if DMing is not for you, then maybe it's just bringing you down week on week, having to do the prep and then come to the game and be a DM, so cutting that out of your life might just help lift you up a little. If this video has helped get you out of the DM burnout or prevent it from coming in the first place, do give it a like, it does help to build this channel as well. And make sure to subscribe if you want to see more D&D content. As I said earlier, I upload every Monday and every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe. But until next time, happy gaming.